What is your profession?
So here we have 1500 points of Black Templars. Regular viewers of this channel will be familiar with this army now. It is known as the Lazarus Crusade. Starting off over here, we have two 7-man Crusader squads. First one is led by a sword brother with twin lightning claw. They also have a power sword on one of the initiates and a plasma gun. They then have two bolt pistol and chainsword initiates and two bolt pistol and knife neophytes. Over here we have a second Crusader squad. Sergeant has a combi flamer and a power sword. One of the initiates has a power axe and a bolt pistol. Another one has a flamer, two bolt pistol chainsword guys, and then two neophytes, bolt pistol and Astartes combat blade. We have the Land Raider Crusader, Wrath of Sigismund. It is armed with its twin assault cannon, two hurricane bolters, a storm bolter, and it has the assault launchers there as well, frag assault launchers. Moving on to the core of the force, we have two more Crusader squads, 13 men in each one. Sword brother with a power sword and a combi melter, initiate with a power sword, a plasma gun, two bolt pistol chainsword initiates, and then we have 8 bolt pistol and combat blade neophytes. Over here, very similar setup. We've got a combi plasma this time, and a power sword, another power sword initiate, a melter gun, two bolt pistol chainsword guys, and then again 8 neophytes with bolt and blade. Moving on to the support elements, we have a Storm Talon gunship. This is armed with 2 las cannons and twin assault cannon. We then have the Sword Brethren, 5 tactical terminators. Each one, 3 I should say, with Power Fist and Storm Bolter, 1 with Assault Cannon and Power Fist, and 1 Sergeant with a Power Sword and Storm Bolter. Finally, we have the heroes of this force. We have the Emperor's Champion. He just comes stock with the Black Sword and a Bolt Pistol. And we also have the leader of this force, Chaplain Lazarus. He is armed with his hefty two-handed Crozius Arcanum, and he also has a trusty bolt pistol. So that is 1,500 points of Black Templars. Let's see what they're up against today. So here we have 1,500 points of Blood Angels. Johnny is trying out this list again. This time against the Black Templars. Last time these guys faced off against the Mordian Iron Guard and they did struggle somewhat, but they're back here today, this force, and they're hoping to earn some redemption and gain some glory. Right, so this force split into 2 detachments. We have the first detachment here, which is the fast attack detachment, the Outrider detachment. We have 3 squads of assault marines. First one has a melter gun and a power sword. Second one has a melter gun and a power sword, and the last one has a melter gun, a power sword, and the sergeant also has a chainsword instead of a bolt pistol. The rest of the members have got bolt pistol and chainsword. We have a twin heavy bolter Razorback, a double storm bolter Rhino, and this attachment is led by a Librarian Dreadnought. It has the halberd and a storm bolter, and we'll be covering his psychic powers in a little bit. Over here we have the second detachment, and this is the Elites detachment, and I believe it's called a Vanguard detachment. So we have 3 units of Death Company. 2 of them, each one 6 men in each squad. 2 of them have double power sword, and the rest bolt pistol and chainsword. The last squad has double thunder hammer and 4 guys with bolt pistol and chainsword. We have a squad of Vanguard veterans. The sergeant has a power sword and a storm shield. 2 other Vanguard veterans with power axe and bolt pistol. And 2 guys at the back with double chainsword. We then have a Stern Guard veteran squad, and they have 3 combi melters, a regular melter gun, and then the sergeant here has a plasma pistol and a power sword. There's also a Rhino in this detachment which has double storm bolter. Finally, This detachment is led by Mephiston, Lord of Death, and he comes with all his trimmings, power sword. Well, it's better than a regular power sword, and also he has a plasma pistol. So that's 1500 points of Blood Angels. Let's see the warlords and psychic powers for each faction now. So here we have the Psychers and Warlords for both forces. Starting off with the Black Templars, we have Chaplain Lazarus, who will be the Warlord. His relic will be the Templar Helm, which gives him an extra 3 inches for all his auras, and his Warlord trait will be the rights of, I can't remember if it's rights of battle or rights of war, but either way it makes everyone around him fearless. Over here we have the Librarian Dreadnought. He is not the Warlord, but his psychic powers are Wings of Sanguinius and Blood Boil. And Mephiston is the Warlord. He is got Wings of Sanguinius, Blood Boil and Quickening, and he'll be carrying the relic today for the Blood Angels, and he'll be carrying the Veritas Vitae. So that means anytime the Blood Angels spend a command point on a 5+, they will get it back. So that's it, that's the two forces. The Blood Angels will have 5 command points because they've got 3 for being Battleforged and 2 attachments gives them an extra 1 command point, so that's 5. And the Black Templars will have 6 command points because they have 3 for being Battleforged and 1 for being in a battalion. So let's see what the battlefield looked like after deployment. So here we have the field of battle after deployment. The Templars have deployed in their classic Templar phalanx. 2 13-man Crusader squads formed up around the Land Raider Wrath of Sigismund. Covering our deployment zone in an anti-deep strike formation, we're aware that there are 18 Death Company that want to engage us, and we want to protect the Wrath of Sigismund as best as we can. Also got the Storm Talon providing overwatch. Moving round to the Blood Angels, they have deployed in an Iron Spearhead. We have a Rhino here with 2 assault squads in, a Rhino here, a Razorback with Mephiston and an assault squad, and then another Rhino here with the 2 veteran squads, Vanguard and Sternguard, with the Librarian Dreadnought there. In reserve, Black Templars have the Sword Brethren 5-man Tactical Terminator Squad, and the Blood Angels have their 3 Death Company units. Mission today is Relic. Both sides, both pious chapters, fighting over a piece of ancient technology, wanting to bring it back for the glory of the Emperor. That is represented by this servo skull. There must be some sort of data matrix inside, and both sides want to bring it back to the Emperor and earn the glory. Deployment today was the Pointy Dawn of Warhead, the Arrowhead Dawn of War. Can't remember the exact name, but it will be at the beginning of the video. Currently, the Black Templars have turn 1. We won the roll-off. The Blood Angels attempted to seize, and unfortunately, they only got a 2. So we will be back at the end of Black Templar turn 1. So a relatively quick Black Templar turn. We moved up 6 inches with all units, apart from the flyer, which obviously went 20 inches. We moved up 6 inches, maintaining the Templar phalanx, maintaining our defensive posture. We are moving forward aggressively, trying to get bodies on that relic early on, and we are maintaining the anti-deep strike formation. Overall, there was obviously no psychic phase of the Black Templars. Shooting everything. We had a combi plasma here, a plasma gun here, a couple of combi bolters. They fired and were able to do a wound to the first Rhino. The Wrath of Sigismund was able to do 3 or 4 wounds as well. And then the Storm Talon chipped in, and just as las cannons alone did 9 wounds, destroyed that Rhino. Johnny rolled 3 1s to this squad getting out of the wrecked vehicle. He had to use a command point to save one of them, so he's only taking 2 casualties. This squad were able to get out with no issues. So overall, the Black Templars were able to kill a Rhino, 2 Assault Marines, and forced the Blood Angels to use a precious command point, which they did not get back with their relic. So let's see what the Blood Angel response is going to be to this grievous insult. Very good. Blood Angels turn 1. They got in a lot of charges. Overall, they were able to kill the Storm Talon by absolutely smashing 6 wounds off it with the Thunderhammers, 2 more from the Chainswords, and then the Librarian Dreadnought came in and just I think did like 6 or 7 wounds, just absolutely destroyed it. Didn't explode. Over here, these guys took an absolute mauling from various bolt pistols, heavy bolters, and a smite. They also took a load of casualties in combat. There was 5 of them left. They lost 1 more to battle shock. So there's only 4 guys left over here. And then over here, these guys took a bit of a mauling from double storm bolter and some bolt pistols over here. And the Blood Angels were able to kill this 13-man unit down to 7, but they did pass their battle shock without any problems. So, the Black Templars have been hit hard. We're going to have to deploy our reserves and also get out of the Wrath of Sigismund. We need to claim some heads. But there are Blood Angel assets still to be deployed in this game. They also have another squad of Death Company able to deep strike down. So, Black Templars are on the back foot, but let's see if they can do a glorious counterattack for Dawn, for Sigismund, and for the Emperor. What an absolutely brutal Black Templar turn. It had its ups and downs, let me tell you now. The Black Templar shooting phase was pretty poor, not gonna lie. Really struggled to do any damage. You were able to kill that 3-man squad down to a 2-man squad, and we were able to kill a couple of Death Company from up here as well. And that was it. Crack grenades and flamers and other bits generally bounced off. The Lamida Crusader, Wrath of Sigismund, got something like 4 hits with the assault cannon and then 1 wound. And then Johnny saved it, which is crazy. The bolt guns didn't do very much. I think overall, the Wrath of Sigismund may have only killed 1 or 2 people. Then it came down to the assault phase, what it's always going to come down to with the Black Templars. These guys obviously decided to stay and hold the line. They unfortunately weren't able to do any damage. Oh, they killed 2 with their bolt pistols, I should say, in combat, but they weren't able to do any damage with their blades. They actually did get 2 wounds against the squad with the power swords, but 2 successful Storm Shield saves were made. Over here, the Emperor Champion went in against the Librarian Dreadnought. It had taken some damage from shooting. It only had 4 wounds left. He got 5 hits, 3 wounds. Johnny didn't make any saves. And then the Emperor's Champion got something like 7 damage on the Librarian Dreadnought. It didn't explode, and basically with a single thrust, a 2-handed thrust, he speared the corpse warrior inside the Dreadnought sarcophagus and ripped him out with his bare hands. This unit then was able to charge in against the remaining 2 assault marines and was able to kill them. They consolidated forward to form a protective phalanx against any counterattacks against the Emperor's Champion. Over here, these guys did phenomenally well. Really proud of them. They came in. It was six Crusaders versus 4 Death Company. Those Death Company had Thunderhammers, not odds that we would normally want to take on. But we trusted in Dawn. We trusted in Sigismund. The Lightning Claw Sergeant alone ripped 2 apart. The Power Sword beheaded another, and the remaining combat blades and chainswords brought down the last one. If you're wondering where the plasma gun guy has gone, he killed himself on overcharge. Like I said, that was with a command point reroll, I should add. Like I said, Black Templar shooting phase wasn't great. I think we killed 1 guy and did 3 wounds to the Librarian Dreadnought. But just to recap overall, these guys were able to kill 2 and lost 1 of their own number. These guys were able to kill the 3-man Assault Marine squad. This guy was the Emperor Champion was able to slay the Librarian Dreadnought. These guys were able to kill Death Company, and the Terminators were able to pick 2 off from that unit. They did fail their charge, though. So, a good counterattack. Let's see if the Blood Angels can bring down some fiery retribution against the Black Templars. What an absolutely topsy-turvy Blood Angels turn. Some things, it was just so close. Every time they were going for the kill, the dice rolls just seemed to betray them. Shooting was lackluster. A few guys killed here and there, just pot shots really. You know, for example, one guy killed off here, another one killed from there. And then it went on to the important phase, the combat phase. This Death Company unit tried to charge the squad that was here, the chaplain, and this unit. Unfortunately, they only got enough to make it to this squad, but they did absolutely butcher them. So that 30-man Crusader squad is now dead. Over here, these Death Company made it in against Chaplain, Lazarus, and maybe landing hard after jumping over this. We just don't know, but they really struggled to do any wounds against him. And then Chaplain Lazarus was incredibly lucky with his Rosarius and power armor. He only took 2 wounds. In return, he hefted his two-handed Crozius Arcanum and just obliterated one of the Death Company, just smashed him aside. Over here, Mephiston came in for the kill against the Emperor's Champion. Missed once with 4 attacks. Oh, he used Wings of Sanguinius to jump over, in case you're wondering. He got 4 attacks, he missed with 1. He got 3 wounds. The Emperor's Champion made 2 out of 3 4-up saves. And the Mephiston rolled his damage. It only did 1 damage with that D3 sword. In return, the Emperor's Champion was able to get all hits, all wounds against Mephiston. And Mephiston made 3 5-up armor saves. And also, the Emperor's Champion did 4 damage, and he made another 5-up feel no pain. So he only took 3 damage in return. Very possible for the Emperor's Champion to kill him if Johnny had been a little bit unlucky there. But Mephiston has stood firm. Over here, these guys were able to kill 1 bolt pistol chainsword guy, and in return, they were able to kill 1 bolt pistol chainsword guy. So that's an equal fight over there. So that's it. The Blood Angels are in amongst the Black Templar lines. They have still got 5 men in this squad, 5 men in this transport. They have Death Company rampaging through the Black Templar lines, but that could have been the turn when they sealed the deal, and unfortunately it hasn't quite gone that way. We're going to have to see what the Black Templars can do going into their turn 3.
I told you this would be a sick game.
Once again, an absolutely topsy-turvy turn. The Black Templar shooting phase can only be described in scientific terms as piss poor. This was in rapid fire range. The Terminators weren't in rapid fire range, but they got lots of hits. All of the bolt pistol shots, they went into this Death Company unit here, and we only killed 3. It was bad, to say the least. Johnny, this turn, did not fail a single 3-up save to bolt weaponry. It had to have an AP value, basically, to cut through the Death Company's armour. Then came the charge phase. The Terminators got a 9-inch charge and were able to barrel into Mephiston. Now, even though Mephiston has Speed of the Primarch as his Warlord trait, because the Terminators charged, and it's my turn, they were able to go first. We double-checked the rule, and they were able to land 6 hits on Mephiston, 5 wounds. They were able to then get 7 damage after armor saves had been made. Mephiston did make 4 of them, but that was 3 wounds that went through, and Mephiston was backhanded by a tactical Terminator. Me and Johnny were just saying that the only time Mephiston's ever been killed by these Black Templars, both on camera and in all of our games, is by tactical Terminators. So clearly there's some kind of superstitious thing going on there. We're not quite sure. Over here, these guys, the Power Sword Sergeant was able to behead 1, and the Power Axe Sergeant was just able to take a chunk out of the other guy and kill him. And these Death Company were mobbed by the Power Claw squad and this squad that jumped out of the Land Raider. They were able to kill 2, and they were able to kill 2. It then came down to Chaplain. No, they were able to kill 3, so there was 1 left. Nope, my mistake. Let's just do this properly. They were able to kill 2, and they were able to kill 2, and then it came to my turn to pick unit to fight, and there was basically 2 left when Chaplain Lazarus went to fight. He hit with all his attacks, wounded with all his attacks, and Johnny failed 2 saves, and then the damage 2 made a big difference. Damage 2 on a Crozius Arcanum, and it was able to kill both Death Company. So, whilst the shooting phase of Black Templars was absolutely atrocious, the combat phase was brutal. But the Blood Angels are not out of this yet. They have 10 more infantry to draw upon. Let's see what they can do going into their turn 3. A very effective Blood Angel turn there. 2 Terminators were killed by effective Melter Fire from the Stern Guard, this squad up here, and a Heavy Bolter from here. So 2 were killed over there. This squad here was butchered down to just the Sword Brother thanks to these Stern Guard veterans. Over here, these 2 Vanguard veterans originally charged the Chaplain. They were able to shoot a way through, kill a Black Templar, charge the Chaplain, and were able to kill Chaplain Lazarus. He was lucky with the saves last turn. This turn, it was normal. You know, he failed 3. He failed 2 out of 3. You know, it could have gone either way. So to be fair, he was lucky last turn. This squad here, led by Claw Sergeant Bane, were just able to brutally murder the Death Company after losing a couple of their own number. The Sergeant got 3 hits, 3 wounds, and the Death Company didn't make any saves. That is his 3rd squad of Death Company that he has engaged and successfully killed. So he is a master of killing the crazed berserkers of the Blood Angels. Over here, we were able to do 2 wounds in Overwatch and 1 wound in combat, but they're tied up now. And the big news of the day is, turn 3 Blood Angels, they have captured the relic. So the Black Templars are going to have to do something about that. Both sides are battered and bloody. There is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 Black Templars left versus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 Blood Angels. The Blood Angels do have a Razorback and a Rhino, but the Black Templars still have their Land Raider, the Wrath of Sigismund. Let's see if that can make a difference. Let's see what the Black Templars can do going into their turn 4. There's still a lot to play for in this game. A pretty good Black Templar turn. The Wrath of Sigismund and the Tactical Terminators that were here opened fire into the Stern Guard veterans and just blew them away in an absolute storm of mass reactive bolt shells and assault cannon shells. These guys over here miraculously killed both Vanguard in the shooting phase, but then failed their charge up into this melee brawl. The Emperor's Champion failed his charge even with his reroll. These guys fell back, so they couldn't charge this turn, but they have clambered on top of that building. The story of the turn, though, was the Terminators went in without the Chaplain on those rerolls. They did struggle. The Power Fists killed 1, and the Power Sword killed another, so that's 2 killed from that squad. In return, a Sneaky Chainsaw was able to get a wound on the last Stormbolter Power Fist Terminator here. So, interesting turn for the Black Templars. Going into the Blood Angels turn, we're going to have to see what they can do. Let's see what the Blood Angels can do in their turn 4. That was a very quick Blood Angels turn. The Razorback fell back just to get within range of that relic in case it all goes Pete Tong, and then was able to kill the 1 wound Terminator with its heavy bolter rounds, even with a 2-up save. These guys obviously fell back down here, and this charged over here and managed to get into contact with both the Raider and the Sword Brother. Right, that was Blood Angels turn 4. We're going into Templars turn 5. All these units just have to be able to kill 3 Marines. That's what it comes down to, folks. Let's see if the Sons of Sigismund can do it. End of Black Templar turn 5 and end of the game. So there is a Blood Angels turn 5, but there's not much they can do, so we've called it here. Essentially what happened is the Emperor's Champion in this squad moved around here in case they need to get a long charge around the edge to the Assault Marines that were here. As it was, the Flamers were able to kill 2 of the Assault Marines, and then the Bolter, the Combi Bolter, fired and was able to kill the last one. They were just drowned in Promethium and bolts, and the last 3 Assault Marines were killed. And then just to make sure we had lots of people around the relic, both of these squads charged. Terminator's got an 8, and obviously the 3-inch pile-in, they're able to get nice and close. And the unit here were able to get an 11-inch charge, which got them all down there. So no one is actually, you know, going by the rulebook relic rules, no one's holding the objective, so it comes down to who's got the most models within 3 inches of it. Objective skill doesn't even matter, but as you can see, the Templars we've got 6 guys within 3 inches of it. The Blood Angels have just got this Razorback. which we were able to do, 6 wounds to it in combat. It's taken 6 damage overall. So, just lots of damage done. There's not much the Blood Angels can do, but it was an absolutely fantastic game. The Blood Angels, once again, being hyper aggressive. At one point, there were more Blood Angels in the Black Templar side of the field than there were Black Templars. And it was looking grim with a few rough shooting phases for the Black Templars, but fortunately, it came down to the glory of close combat. Both sides taking huge chunks out of each other in combat. Shooting, neither side really did a huge amount, to be honest. So, yeah, it was absolutely fantastic. Really, really good game. Relic's always an interesting one. And we really wanted to do this game because it was a Relic game which had 2 Horde-ish Astartes armies who both wanted to get into close combat, and as you can see, it just turned into an absolute bloodbath. It's just a very good game. I hope you guys have learnt lots and lots. Leave lots and lots of comments saying what you thought was good about the battle report, what you thought was bad, and of course we'll go into the in-depth tactics in the after-action battle report, so look out for that video. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you guys next time.